The only thing that FaZe might have going for them is if 4 of their players just go ham on this map. That's the only way that I see them potentially even winning this game, or this map leading into the 3rd map. I just don't. Like you're saying as well, we were talking about it in the break as well. Like, for example, a team like Na'Vi never plays Cash, right? And the only reason why back then they played Cash was because Nuke was still in the map pool. And if it wasn't, for example, like leagues like ESEA, which they actually like force maps on you, you would never see teams even have like a record on certain maps. Like Na'Vi would probably never ever play Cash. Same thing here. I honestly don't think that they actually have practiced this map coming into the tournament. But that's the thing. When you end up playing a team like Fnatic, you're forced to like actually ban a map that, yeah, you practice on, but you know you're just gonna get pummeled on. It's like, well, let's just take a gamble here. Let's pick a map we never play and just hope maybe Fnatic won't realize, or maybe we can at least give them a run for their money. But no, I think that FaZe will have a really hard time here.
But Robin, they were boot camping in Europe. Maybe they secretly practiced Cobble.
All
now
week.
No one knows what to expect from them, And no, I agree. I think it was a gamble from FaZe that just didn't pay out. I think that Fnatic called their bluff basically, and I don't think Cobble is one of the strongest maps for Fnatic personally, but I still think they're much better on it than FaZe are.
Yeah, I actually agree in that sense. The reason why, unfortunately, you can't even go with that angle, like maybe they were trying to bait them into the Cobble pick and it's secretly their new map, is because actually, I think that FaZe expected Fnatic to pick Inferno. I actually think FaZe thought that's our gamble is, that maybe Cobblestone's in the randomizer, and then Fnatic just picks Inferno because they're gods on that, and we're not good on it, but we're willing to play them on it, and we just hope we win Mirage and we get the 3rd map. Unfortunately for them, Fnatic has called their bluff. Fnatic said, right, well, that's the map you don't play. We're not the best on it, but we can play it, certainly. And the big problem here is it's not that FaZe is bad on Cobble, so they don't play it, and I think that's the key point to emphasize here. If they at least played it and they had some routine, it's just they don't have the form on it. You know kind of what to fix there, you know how to play Fnatic. I don't think they have any clue in that sense. I always say the 2 maps that you never want to play if you're like not a team who plays them in general, like to have to improvise on, it's got to be Train and Cobble for me. Like, I don't put Overpass in there. All the customs to some degree most teams don't like, but the reason why I don't put Overpass in there is because at least there's like a basis of how you can play the CT side there. You can just sit in the sites, you can just try and purely just frag them, and they have to come to you to a degree. On maps like Cobble and Train, the really good teams on the T side, they just rip you apart. Like, it's so hard. Even just holding it down defensively on those maps is so incredibly difficult. So I see FaZe really struggling there. Even with a big fragging performance, I don't think they're going to be able to do it on this map. So I think this is going to be Fnatic 2-0ing us, taking us through, and Astralis' nightmare begins. So,
Rob, any final thoughts, Robin, or did you pretty much already sum it up?
I think I said everything. I think that I don't think FaZe will get more than 6 rounds. And if they do, I think they should be happy with the result. And you, Yanko?
Definitely sticking with the Fnatic 2-0 here.
Okay.
FaZe it. They won't outfox Fnatic. And I think Fnatic's going to make it rain. JK, main.
All right.
I didn't have anything for that one. Sorry there.
Very funny.
I didn't have anything for that. Sorry. I'll work on that. Should just cut on that. Yeah. Cut on that next time, please, producer.
All right.
Make me look good.
There we have it. The puns have started. Duncan's warming up. That's going to do it for us at the desk. I'm going to throw you back to James and DDK. They're going to walk you through Map 2. It is Cobble. FaZe taking on Fnatic. Gentlemen, take it away.
Oh dear.
Allow me to conduct a reading, Dan.
Go for it.
The author is a great writer by the name of Lurpis. Just leaving this here, Fox has never, per HLTV stats, played Cobblestone in his career, Dan. It goes on, Dan. There are numbers, Dan. I hope you're familiar with numbers. Jacob has played Cobblestone 4 times. Makaleli and Rain have played Cobblestone once, Dan. And AZ has played it 37 times.
Presumably
so aside from AZ, they've basically never played Cobblestone. Ever.
Oh.
That's the situation we have here, Dan.
Interesting.
So where's your Monopoly money, Dan?
Beginner's luck.
Where is it going? In which way is it headed?
Well, you'd be crazy not to pick Fnatic here. I think. I mean, you know what? At the last major, this obviously the lineup is not the same.
Considering it's an international, allow me to interrupt you and apologise.
Whatever.
Kind of in the middle of it. Considering it's an international team, okay, and you have, obviously they've been playing for a while now. They're going to have their language together. Like, if Fox has never played this in a competitive match, does he even know the callouts?
Well, I guess we're going to find out. As pistol round has commenced, and we're going to be into the action now. And as far as we can see at the moment, there's a lot of focus on this B side from both teams, and Flusher is the man on the A side for the CT side of Fnatic. And Dennis is lurking around connector. But as we can see, FaZe has a lot of players huddled up there near the drop zone area. So they are ready to burst through onto that position, and there are the grenades to help them do so. And in comes the B play. And Fnatic already 4 players in position. One goes down already on the B plateau. That's both players on B plateau dead. So now FaZe have an open channel onto the bomb site. This looks like a good opener from FaZe. So far they've hit the initial shots. The bomb can be planted, but there's still 3 players there for Fnatic.
Indeed, you can see the range was closed by FaZe, and indeed it is closed again by Jacob, who is the raid boss, the man of the plan, who can, not Milan. Crim's left versus 3. He has a kit as well. Needs to get himself to 1 versus 1. So the door might help in doing so, but he needs to pass this choke point at some point. I don't think he's going to do it Chris J-Dan. He hasn't got an M4, doesn't have a flashbang either, even though the positions were almost the same of the Ts. Moving in now, that bomb continues to tick. Fox peeks once, not going to peek twice, and Crims may opt to save what he has and try and get some exits at the same time. I don't know. The fuse kit might come in handy in future. But hey, the pistol has been won by FaZe, so they're off to a good start. We'll see if they can... See, now this is the interesting thing, right? They've won the pistol round. So let's say they survive the next 2 rounds, get onto the Fnatic bye. If they manage to break Fnatic and wreck the economy, then who knows where we may be led.
Yeah, well, the problem is a lot of the timings that they're not going to be familiar with, and a lot of the nuances to some of the more sneaky positions. I have to find out, exactly how well they do really know the map as it plays out. But typically one thing that you want in every single map is that you're playing is anti-force buy drills where your team can, most safely win the rounds where you have the biggest advantage from the get-go, and that's when the teams have inferior weaponry. Issue is though, FaZe, is that they've actually decided not to go with almost no grenades here, and so that means it's going to be very hard for them to actually go through choke points and to trade efficiently. Against Fnatic, you've got loads of CZs. CZs are really strong, especially in the hands of these Swedish players on Fnatic, in the close ranges. Okay, Rain's already going to pick off 1 player towards B that was pushing, but the rest of Fnatic at the moment is towards A. Now, FaZe are looking to go past the kind of Dragon Lore picture, the painting.
Dragon, you could say.
Mosaic? Is it a mosaic?
I don't know. We can go and look at it afterwards. Quickly though, Lurpis was doing some more research and found that they have indeed played Cobblestone at least once, beating a team called Attacks. I don't know if that's alternate Attacks, but Attacks 16-14.
Right. Either way, in comes the push now onto the B-bomb site from FaZe. And Fnatic don't really have players in position, so this should be pretty safe here from FaZe. This shouldn't be any way really that Fnatic are going to be able to take this one. They do get a sneaky little headshot there thanks to Flusher. But the bomb will be planted now, and there are no kits on Fnatic either. But Fnatic can hold on to these weapons and play exits, and that could be quite dangerous as well.
I thought they'd go for the save, to be honest, and save their armor and so on. Crims has picked up a scout, and it seems he may be going to the tower. I don't know. Olafmeister will be looking to reap more rewards. Perhaps he can steal a gun away from Fox a bit later on. Actually, in fact, Crims is going to rotate. I mean, actually, he can get a tag, which Olafmeister can capitalize on, perhaps. We will see. Crims is moving into position now, and Fox could be exposed. There it is. He gets tagged as well, but is Olafmeister going to come in time to capitalize? He isn't, but there we go. AZ goes down, so now Fox, what does he do? Does he go for the peak? He's got 1 HP, so he can't really afford to do so. So some reasonable damage done to the FaZe Clan team, or the FaZe Clan, but if you rather. Fnatic save nothing going into the next round, and this round will be an eco.
Yeah, three frags there is sufficient economic damage, considering the investment that was made in the force buy. But got a bit of a replay here, JChem cleaning up. But yeah, Fnatic, they're going to be super comfortable. And I think it is very telling that FaZe in the previous round, knowing they're up against the force buy, don't have any fast-moving weapons. But like we're seeing now, which the Mag 10s and so on. Mag 10's quite cheap, and of course the players suffering the economic damage, they're going to be using this against the players who don't have any helmets, no armor to speak of, making the bonus on the SMGs. So, pretty standard stuff there coming in from FaZe. Michael is staying on the Tech 9 so we can afford an AWP later on. And, FaZe, as long as they stick together and coordinate, somewhat half decently, they should be completely fine here. I mean, the interesting thing, though, is that, and you don't see this too often, is that Fnatic have opted to buy 2 flashbangs. It's the only investment that they've made. No P250s either, full USPs. stock pistols, but 2 flashbangs. So curious to see how they're going to use those. Self-pop flash was Olofmeister's choice. Won't pan out though.
Apparently the dragon is a tapestry, Dan.
It's a tapestry, not even a mosaic.
You look like a man with tapestry skills, Dan.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I'll have to guess. I guess I'll have to try that out then at some point. But looks like Crimson's claimed the Mag 10. Although that said, without any armor, it's going to be pretty hard to use that weapon. Jacob just cleaning up here around the side, just cleaning up the bomb site so they're able to plant, and things as usual. Usual anti-eco round coming out here from FaZe. They've done well not to lose more than one player, to be honest. Crimson's trying to lurk with that Mag 10.
How many bullets has he got in the hole? 10. So would have liked a bit more. Now he's going to try and save this for the next round. So he's dead, Dan. We're going to get onto the buy for Fnatic and see what they have to offer. This now the real challenge begins for FaZe Clan. UMP onto Flusher. Rest of the team onto M4s. We've seen so much. I would love to see how many times UMP was bought at the end of this tournament and how many kills were done with it. Well, let's see how he manages to use it. Fnatic had some crazy plays through smoke with UMP on Dust 2. We'll see if they can yield similar results on this occasion. 2 Fnatic players moving close to the mid door there. Olofmeister and Crim. Smoke goes down, and FaZe will just make sure that Olofmeister is up to no shenanigans around that smoke. We saw a nice spray through the smoke from Apex while Envy were in, and Crim's indeed is going to get shot through the door. Sorry, through the door I meant, from Apex, where he headshot someone. Crims has lost half his life there, so he may be forced to retreat. More smoke's going down. 4 people over towards A for FaZe, while Rain holds an angle towards B. Bomb is towards B at present, although who knows where it may end up later on. Flush is playing inside the drop zone, looking back to Flipside and Mouse, and you saw it was quite rare to see a CT inside the drop itself. So stark difference in play here from Fnatic.
Yeah, FaZe did a really good job there, actually pressuring Fnatic, who didn't have enough grenades to start with, and they had to throw a bunch there towards the A site, and now they're kind of on high alert towards A, and we're going to have FaZe rotating past the Dragon Lord Tapestry and towards the B plat. Rain leading the charge there, and JW's the man that's close. Have to see how this goes. The first engagement here is very important, and JW's going to win it, and I think he may even have spotted the bomb there, so this is a really big call here. 3 players there to defend for Fnatic as the nades are going to start to rain in from FaZe. And the split from drop is happening. So the coordination here is key. But a line of Fnatic players there able to deal enough damage to stop this push. Just Fox left alone, trying to get the frags here. And a lot of players who are very low, and he will do so. 3 players eliminated, but that's not good enough. FaZe will lose the round, and Fnatic will be able to pick one up here. But their economy is still not going to be too good, having lost 3 players.
Indeed, it was a round FaZe loss, but they did have significant economical impact on their opponents. So Flusher will be continuing with the UMP. We're yet to see what JW and Olofmeister will be buying. Olofmeister, in fact, has an AK from the previous round, and JW will join the UMP club. So AZ, in fact, is also reduced down to a Tech 9. So both teams feeling the strain here, as they have next to no money in the hole. The entire FaZe clan are going to be going over towards B-bomb site. Looks like a fast play is in order because they're quite close to the plateau here. And Olofmeister's already rotating towards B before FaZe even make it onto the bomb site. Counter flashes and flashes coming in. And a full nade execute, so it seems FaZe are prepared indeed.
Yeah, it almost looks like they really want JW to get in there with the pop flashes, but they at least feel the presence. 4 players here for Fnatic to defend. JW is going to shoot Jacob in the back. Olofmeister with the tap there on the Fox. Only Michael Elliott to respond, but things not looking good. Once again, just 1 player here for FaZe. They were decimated on that push. Could barely even step off the plateau before Fnatic wipe the floor with them. 2 to 3 now, and FaZe have to eco 1, or maybe buy a few pistols. But Fnatic off to a good start after losing the pistol now.
There's no swap for experience in terms of having proper matches, but obviously all these teams play each other reasonably often behind closed doors in practice. But you can see FaZe Clan have the nade execute, but you have to wonder if they have the experience to back that up in the situations, expecting where the counter flashes come from, and so on and so forth. As only 1 kill with basically a wall of smoke execute is quite the failure And there we go. They're on the eco this time while the FaZe clan, and JW is going to open things up in the right direction for the CTs. Flash going down. JW, though, gets a spray down. That's the bomb as well. Then it's coming in for support with 2, leaving Fox alone. Can he do any damage to the CT side? He can't on this occasion. Olofmeister, I think, might have been going for a knife there. 3-3, Fnatic tie things up. So since FaZe have won the pistol in the 2 following rounds, they have not had any success yet. But 3-3, still lots to play for.
Yeah, one really big deal too, you know, is in a lack of practice on this map is that if you want to go for the B executes, and it is a way to keep the map simple, and it's quite effective, you need to have really solid coordination. You need to have practiced it so you can coordinate from drop and plateau properly at the same time to split the attention of the defenders. Because if they can all just look to one location at each time, then it's not going to work out for you very well, and that's a big problem. Either way, we're into the next round. 3-3 is the score as we see FaZe putting 4 players towards the 8 side of the map, just keeping the pressure up. They did this previously. And Crims is playing A-Long alone this time, so a bit of a variation to the setup. Previously he was playing with Olofmeister down in middle, but now he's going to be down in the danger areas. But FaZe, they've set up their attack now. They're about to hit the A-Long area and slowly take map control away from Fnatic.
As you can see, JW's been boosted into the drop. Jacob's still holding a passive angle there. The flash comes in, but a bit of shoulder peeking from JW. He'll stay alive. So Brazen Smoke to put down, gets the kill as well. That is mad cheeky. No answer from FaZe yet. They've lost 3 plays, in fact, so this round is pretty much over. 1 minute on the clock. They still have possession of the bomb. JW's taken a aggressive position towards B Plateau as well. So it's pretty much a shutdown. What could be a consolation frag for Makaleli at this point. He needs to join his teammate Rain over towards the B bomb site / the drop. Nobody in the drop for Fnatic. They will choose to pair up and defend the bomb sites. Smoke going down to make it a bit harder to breach B as well. You have to wonder if FaZe will simply go for a save here.
Yeah, I mean, well, they need a pretty huge clutch in this situation, that's for sure, to do any damage at all. Like a massive individual performance is really required, and there's 1 frag. So 2 versus 3 now is much more palatable, but there's 50 seconds rather on the clock. There's Rain on the bomb side taking the jewels right now against Dennis, but it's not going to work in his favor. Dennis with the kill on both players remaining for FaZe, meaning that now Fnatic are 4-3 and really starting to build some bank. In fact, they've built so much money that they're deciding to buy double AWP now. That is going to be quite interesting to see. Olofmeister and JW.
I'm wondering if JW is going to go... I mean, you can boost, well, not boost, you can stand on top of somebody and drop and hold the AWP angle. So rather than boost, you're just standing there waiting for the T's to peek and then just shoot them in the chest. Or you can go towards long B with it. Olofmeister is playing where Kenyas was playing for Envy, actually, with a passive position towards the drop, which is where all the T's are running. Down goes AZ. No boost needed over towards the drop as he sees 4 players. Rain is shoulder peeking, but what more can he do? That's the bomb down as well in an exposed position. The smoke comes down, going for another peek, and Fox will take him down. Now Crims has to look at 2 angles at the same time. He could get shot in the back here. He's got to be careful. His teammates coming in for support now. He can concentrate on Jacob's position. Down they all go. Only 1 man taken by FaZe on Fnatic. So again, that's a great boon to the Fnatic economy.
Yeah, they're building so much bank at the moment. And now FaZe, they're going to have the AWP pick up on Fox. And you would expect to see now, FaZe, now that they've got the AWP on Fox, that Fox is going to be the man to try to open up the map, and he can do that in one of 2 ways. Either it's going to be the B plateau peaks. Sometimes AWPers like to try to peek into drop zone, or you've got the the A side of the map, and that would be challenging either JW or Crims. That said, Olofmeister is going towards B plat with his AWP.
They both are.
And JW, yeah.
So JW's getting boosted up, and Olofmeister has just come along for a laugh. It seems.
Yeah.
He's throwing some nades, and it seems maybe he's doing this based on the timing of a FaZe moving slowly towards A. I think he just came to throw the nades, so the Fnatic players still have their nades in the hole, a la people on Arch throwing nades on Inferno for the B players, and he's gone all the way back to A, but obviously had a more passive angle because he had to give up some real estate for that.
Yeah, the A push, A timings are much less likely and slower than the B timings. Less scary too, so it makes a lot of sense. Bit of a risk.
I've never seen a team do that before though on the CT side.
And now it is actually FaZe taking occupation towards the A long area and danger as well. Crims is close. He should be able to hit stepping, actually. Crims has effectively called a lot, and you can see that the rotation has come to some extent here for Fnatic. They've got Dennis and Connector, Olofmeister's by balcony. Crims is going to find the kill and the info. 2 players down thanks to Crims, and he spotted the bomb as well. This is beautiful stuff here from Crims. No help at all, really, and Dennis is now on the angle too, so Crims is, he's got the cavalry. Oh dear, Hasty, nice shot there, long range. And there's the flash and the finish. 3 frags there from Crims. And FaZe made to look the fools there, undone by a single man.
Crims is a little bit nutty. Interesting he was using the M4A4. I know when he's playing B, for example, on Inferno, he chooses to silence M4. But it seems he will... Oh, actually, it's Olofmeister's M4, so that explains everything. In the meantime, we had, I think it was Rain who was playing around a drop. He jumped into drop, got a bit burned, and then Flusher finished him off. So, yeah, you can see Fnatic have a stronghold, and again, they continue with double AWPs on this map. JW going towards B, Olofmeister going towards B, so again, they're going to use the nades, but they're running into B, and it looks like FaZe might go for a bit of a rush here, so they should hear the legs. Indeed, that pick will be the warning sign, but JW will fire a warning of his own by taking down Rain. The push continues here. Dennis is stuck in JW's position, but they might not check it now. JW's gone down. He was there to obviously boost. There is 1 frag from Dennis, and he'll get traded as well. So it's 1 versus 1, Crims versus Makelele. Crims has gone outside the door. Makelele will have to look to see if Crims is pushing and try and plant the bomb at the same time.
It really did look like JW was going to hit that second kill there. Would have made all the difference, seemingly, but this 1-on-1, Makelele versus Crims, really, really important round here for FaZe, of course. And Crims does have a kit. Makelele down to half health has found temporary respite towards the B plateau. And he's hoping Crims is going to try to go deep for the peak, but the smoke off is going to be problematic here for Makelele. That might send him moving forwards now. Bit of pre-fire there from Crims, but the bomb is starting to really tick away quickly. As Crims found another smoke, he has. He's going to smoke down, it's going to force a peek from Makelele. Now he's going to go for the hold. He knows he has to stick the bomb. Makelele, can he get the frag in time? Yes, he will. And that's going to be that. FaZe pick up another round, and they really needed that one desperately. They can just about eke out a buy here, but we know that Fnatic, they are super strong on the money. And this is really strong here from Dennis. The double kill there was so very much needed.
He could have got 3, but I mean, FaZe should have, or they could have made the read that based on JW's position, it was very likely that someone was trying to boost him up. So good play by Fnatic, and yeah, there could have been another round in the bag for them, but FaZe bring it over the line just about. Full nades, full buy for Fnatic once again, opting for the 1 AWP on this occasion. FaZe going to have a limited buy despite winning the round, but they're going to force their way through the smoke into a fast play, something that Mousesports never dared to do in their match versus Flipside. They respected those smokes like brick walls for the most part. Makelele will be taken down by Crims. He is playing pretty strongly at the moment, but Hazy has an AK and Olofmeister has a face, and those two will make a connection. 4 versus 4 now as FaZe get a bit stuck. So many counter flashes coming in, and Crims has a very good position actually. Bit of a crossfire coming in. Down go Rain, Jake and Fox. Everything gets cleaned up. Street sweepers, Dan.
You can't really question the individual skills of Fnatic. They've been, Crims especially has been really solid on this A bomb site. So 7-4 now, and there's no money left for FaZe. So, I mean, they're in a spot where they've been reset, and force buy is essentially one of the best plays because you need to double eco pretty much anyway from this position, and so they've decided to go for it. So Tech 9s, some semblance of grenades, not really enough. 2 HEs, which is a really interesting choice from the T side. I mean, those could be Molotovs or additional flashbangs in the case of Rain.
On the subject of flashbangs, FaZe have been getting pimp slapped by flashbangs on both sides, Dan. And there we go. Limited utility will allow JW to easily pick off Makelele. Oh, and Rain, the timing. He's going to get shot in the head. Mercy kill, perhaps. Dennis gets traded by Fox, though, but there's still a 2-man advantage. AZ gets wrecked. There goes Fox as well. So, again, this is a situation where minimal damage is being done by the T side. And again, the flashbangs for days, Dan.
Yeah. And the problem there as well is that, that's a position too where FaZe can definitely, because we saw a deagle on one player there, and the head armor and Kevlar and so on, and essentially, it's a spot where you could have maybe 2 Tech 9s or max 3 Tech 9s, and you want to spread the rest of the money out on grenades. But obviously, we know that they haven't played this map very much, so they probably don't know how to use the grenades all that effectively. So they're probably putting they'll probably get more bang for their buck in actually just having more powerful sidearms, which is not a good place to be on this map. So, and Fnatic just take full abuse of that.
So there's a bit of a talk going on in the FaZe camp as the in-game leader behind them gives out some instructions, and there's a bit of a discussion. Makaleli's talking at the moment, but I mean, one of the biggest issues is they get themselves into reasonable positioning, but then they just get shut down by so many counter flashes that they can't move from reasonable to great or even get enough frags. They're just completely blind and just getting picked off for fun, like fish in a barrel, Dan.
Absolutely, and you know, Fnatic. They're just looking so good at the moment, so solid, so consistent. I love how well their setup's been working on the A side of the map, but you know, a lot of that you got to wonder also how much harder would it, you know, should it really be for Crims if, you know, we have proper usage of grenades? Because I really feel like right now there is a lack of knowledge on the grenades from the FaZe side. But they've been doing, you know, a decent job in some of the rounds, at least getting into a situation where they can throw nades onto the A-bomb site to execute. Whereas every time they've gone B, their timings have been off so much that Fnatic are able to basically say, okay, we're going to stagger your push, so you can't coordinate and attack us from both sides at once. It's going to be plateau, then it's going to be drop, or we'll kill the players on drop, and then the plateau players come out. Or Fnatic know what, you know, too much in advance, or they slow it down too much with flashbangs and so on. Fnatic seem to be very good at stopping these pushes. So
I don't know that FaZe have had great control in many rounds of the drop zone either. I mean, if you go back to the 400 rounds we had with
yeah.
Mousesports and Flipside on the Flipside side, Markoloff was in there all the time. He's having picnics in there, Dan. But I don't think we've had much control. I mean, you see the power of that in terms of splits that you could try to do at least on the B-bomb site, and I mean, you can do so many things with that. You can go to either site, you can just kill people running around in connector, but I don't know that we've seen much of that from FaZe at the moment. And yes, they have like a set smoke execute on the B-bomb site, but that got shut down by the counter flashes again, which have just been massive. And again, in terms of map experience, I think these counter flashes are going to be a problem because if you don't know what to expect in terms of that, then you're not going to be seeing much until you get laid out with 0 HP.
Yeah, and as we can see, in FaZe are in a spot where it's eco this round, so you know, any plan that they have, we're going to see it come to fruition in the following round. The biggest hope for a round like this is getting a bomb plant, to be honest, because their money is really the issue. They can't really have realistically much of an impact. They can't like force Fnatic to an eco anytime soon, so they just really need to take care of their own money and get the AWP rolling on Fox again. And here we go, it's like lamb to the slaughter. All through these choke points, right through the grinder, into Flusher, and that'll be that. Now we'll get to see FaZe's plan. And you know, one thing with the Markov point that you made, that you know, that's a really good point. It's like the connector on Mirage, giving yourself all those options, either it's A or B. But you need to know consistently how to do that safely. That's the thing. For them, they probably, you know, if they're not used to doing it, it's probably going to always feel very risky because you don't know what to expect, just as you said. So,
I went to Laser Quest, Dan, once, and at the end of it, they give you these little receipts to tell you how good you did. And on mine, it said "Lamb to the slaughter."
Nice.
It didn't really. I am the slaughter, Dan. 2 rounds left in the first half here, and we're going to have both teams back on the buy. Again, limited utility on the FaZe clan. Are they going to be looking for a fast play? They've got 4 people over towards the A area, but the mid position is smoked off. Fox and AZ are creeping towards long A, where none other than Crims is waiting for them. Never a good sign if Crims is waiting to receive you with open gun barrels, but this time Fox will get the NBA in, and that will be an early advantage, causing a rotation from Dennis. Running out of smokes towards mid as well, although FaZe are now moving towards B. We've got JW in an advanced position with AWP. And there is the first one. Will he have any more willing recipients to the AWP? More counter flashes coming in, and the smoke, and a 2-man spray down through by none other than Flusher. Let me see your Vax.
Yeah, it's, I mean, obviously that push from the back is I mean, from Olaf was just so huge because it just told them exactly what FaZe were doing, exactly where they were and where they're coming from. And JW there, FaZe had no Molotovs, but there was 3 players that bought HEs that all had $100 left that could then have afforded a Molotov instead of the HE. And so, you know, if they were able to throw one there, JW cannot stand in that position, and then they can actually progress on plateau if they wanted to, which it seemed like they did. And Dennis is going to finish off the round there with a kill into Makaleli. So, you know, 10-4 now, Fnatic. Definitely outclassing FaZe as expected on the analyst desk, and definitely you know, playing up to the expectations set by the statistics that we had from Lerpus earlier.
I think from the range that Makaleli dropped that flash, if you're looking with an AWP, you can still just about see regardless of the flash and get the kill. Similar to Mirage, where people drop flashes top mid, but you can still see all people anyway. So Dennis has come out with the big guns. He's got the auto sniper, and he is going to be taking it towards the chicken coop, where we also see Exist taking it. So it seems it's going to be a fast play attempted by FaZe Clan, but those Molotovs are not going to be helpful to their cause. They have one AK, a bunch of smokes, a bunch of nades, a Molotov. Perhaps it will head towards the tree. We've got a lot of mice on the chicken coop as well. JW on the site, so Fnatic have a good read. They've basically got 4B Fnatic Flusher in drop, but he's going to get dropped by the Tech 9s.
Here we go, it's all kicking off here, the entry, and there is actually a positive sign here for FaZe, 3 versus 2. Crimson, Olofmeister working their way back into the site, but very forward position here on Olof. What is this? What is this? How did this happen? Creeping in from behind the smoke, and that's 2 players down, all picked up from Olof. Is he going to get the flick shot? No, Jakin will take him down. There's still a chance in this round for FaZe. If Jakin can win the battle, and he will, 10-5, key rounds picked up right at the end there, but it's still a long stretch here for FaZe to take this map and stop themselves from being eliminated. But all of us are just coming in from the back there, James.
From the back.
My goodness.
Well, obviously this is not FaZe's best map. We've got Makaleli giving a bit of a...
So, no.
Yeah, we've got Makaleli giving a bit of a war cry to his team there. I mean, they were pretty pumped after winning that round. So you have to wonder if they feel like... I mean, this is obviously a map where holding on CT is difficult, to say the least. But judging by the quality of their T side, perhaps they're going to find the CT side easier than the T side. So maybe it's that FaZe are content with 5 rounds on their T side, and they're going to be expecting to have a good hold on their CT side. Problem is that they're up against Fnatic.
Yeah. And Fnatic can do pretty much any number of things to just break them here. And they have so much of a buffer of rounds as well. I mean, it's not a massive buffer, but assuming that they, even if they lose the pistol round, there's still a lot of rounds for them to basically figure out, okay, what is super strong here? Because, again, if you're a team that's not very drilled on this map and you're up against proper executes, it's always very difficult to work out what's going to happen. Because when like 3 smokes or 4 smokes drop, then flashbangs are flashing you. And let's say you don't actually have that drill and you're not practicing these kinds of drills yourself, then it's very hard to know actually how to play against it.
Indeed. So the FaZe Clan have 30 seconds to figure out how they're going to hold things down. I mean, looking at them, they're kind of below us down there, and the spirits are high. Jacob's smiling and laughing. Obviously, the Fnatic chaps are going to be super jolly as well. So, I don't know. I mean, in this situation, right, like, Cobble's not your best map. Are you feeling pressure? Or are you feeling like, we're probably not supposed to win this, guys, so let's just try and wreck them as much as we can?
Well, I mean, they get eliminated, so I think there's the pressure there.
they do, but if you're supposed to be eliminated, if your chances are slim, I don't know if that means you have lots of pressure or you understand that, and then you can use that to release the pressure and try and focus on playing your game as opposed to battling nerves, etc.
I think for them it's just all about just getting the W, and I think like on the analyst desk they said they played a massive gamble, and they're in a spot right now where the gamble really hasn't paid off for them. And here we go, that 10-5. There is some rounds to work with. If they're able to get this pistol, they should be able to bring it to that 8 rounds, or the 2-round deficit. So let's see if they can deal with this. They're very spread out at the moment. Very spread out indeed. Not playing the A retake, just pretty much a standard setup. And they might use Fox here at the Chicken Hut to be kind of a bait setup. But they've lost a player. Jakin's down by A long, and Jakin may have spotted the bomb there, and the rotation is starting to happen from FaZe.
But look at Olofmeister. He is waiting on B plateau, and indeed, I thought he was going to try and kill the flankers, but they haven't really rotated yet. It seems that FaZe are non-believers. Olofmeister is staying steadfast, but so is AZ directly below him. Neither of them seem to know that they're both there. Fox is still on the B side as well, and Makaleli is starting to rotate due to Fnatic not showing much. But with Flusher's position in mid, they could still split, go into the drop zone, and go to A or B, so we really don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's definitely good game sense by FaZe to not basically just sell themselves out immediately by rotating towards A. You can see that they definitely have more expectation towards B now, and they would definitely be correct. Here it comes. Oh, AZ nailed, and Fox straight away, but there is 2 players left here, but the problem is that so far away, and Flush is having a one-on-one with one of them on the wrong bomb site. So Rain really in an awful spot here. He's going to get the frag, but he takes a lot of damage in the process. 2 players left. Michael Elliott also a little bit tagged. Able to get a little bit of damage there, but JW will finish things off. 11-5, and Fnatic make things even harder for FaZe, winning the pistol round. FaZe have to force now, and they have to win this.
So we've got JW back to old tricks with the Sawn-Off. So we can expect him to be harassing the drop zone with that double Mach 10 onto Olofmeister and Flusher. Denison Crim's going to be opting for the AKs while their teammates go for all the nades. So FaZe Clan have gone for the Force with the exception of Fox, who will leave 1k in the bank as he is the man who needs the AWP. So let's see what Fnatic have to offer and how FaZe will respond. FaZe have gone for 3 men towards A long actually. Maybe we'll see a fast flank. There's nobody watching it for Fnatic who may go for a fast play themselves. JW trying to split a crossfire with the smoke. Mess it up a little bit, but it might still have a similar effect. Speaking with USP, interestingly.
Yeah, the stack of 3 players towards A is not going to help FaZe out too much. Looks like Fnatic are just going to go straight up into B. And this is really nice from Fnatic. Just quick, simple, fast. And they're in. That's it. And we see the classic signature Sawn-Off from JW. That's always nice, isn't it? We'll probably see this just out for the rest of this match, I feel.
Yep. Oh, money. Money! Jacob is the last man standing. He is basically stuck here, which is unfortunate because I'm sure he would like to at least save his armor. And perhaps he will. There is a Sawn-Off to be had, but he's not going to pick it up. Close to the 1-tap, but not able to make the connection. So FaZe not only have to eco, but after their failed force buy, they're going to have not the best buy in the following round. I mean, Fox will have AWP, but they might be lacking a bit on the nades, on the counter flashes, on trying to smoke things off and hold checkpoints for as long as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, I can see an HE on Rain, that's about it so far. The rest is just stock pistols, so
that's a wrap.
It's, it's quite an interesting choice, isn't it? Just a single HE.
Just the 1 HE.
I mean, usually maybe like 2 HEs, so you can combine with somebody, but just one.
Or
just
even 3, but no, just 1. Yeah, and he's just standing in connector, not actually doing anything right now. Yeah. But I imagine he wants to try and find out where the bodies are and then try and get a nade in there for his team to perhaps capitalize if they can, but they probably can't, Dan.
They probably can't. Yeah, it would be nice to see a flashbang instead, but never mind. We'll just have to see how he brings it to use.
He's gambled, and he's done 22 HP to Olofmeister. The nade has failed, Dan. And he's team killed his teammate as well. Jacob strafed into his USP, so it hasn't gone well for Rain, Dan.
No, absolutely not. I just want to see JW just keep the Sawn-Off for the rest of the match. I actually think that's going to happen as well. He used to do this actually a lot on on a lot of matches. He would just keep it on the entire T sides.
I would say JW and Fur are the more famous shotgun users. JW obviously liking the Mag 7 on Train as well, and Nuke on the Squeaky Door, and you can find Fur using an also shotgun on A-Slope on CT side of Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, from many aspects on this map too, it makes a lot of sense because if you're going to get entries...
so unfortunate. At least he didn't get fined $3,300.
No. Thank God that
Remember those
fixed.
days?
Yeah, I was like that for a long time.
It was indeed.
But yeah, Sawn-Off really good at close, like super close range, and that's what Drop is. And Drop is one of the most important positions on the map as well. So if you're able to just take that for your team and get the frag, you can usually swap the weapon out anyway. So if you really need to. So, so it can be a good choice. But the AWP's out for Fox. Maybe there's hope in the AWP. We'll have to see if Fox is able to use that to good effect.
We've got a fast play into the drop, actually. Olofmeister's run straight in there with the Mach 10. They haven't upgraded their weapons. We've got 2 guys, and they could flank the A bomb site. And indeed, Makale's been shot straight in the face with a Sawn-Off. And now Jacob might be in a bit of trouble because Olofmeister's in CT spawn. Dad, he's in CT spawn.
Yeah, it's super nice, and JW actually going to lose the fight with the M4, but it's okay because Flush and Olofmeister, the Mach 10s, busting through onto the A bomb site. Now it's just Fox and AC left to try to save the day and keep Fnatic away from that 14-round situation. But to be honest, the save is much more preferable, and indeed they're going to back away, keep the weapons alive. And even if they save these 2 weapons, it's going to be really hard in the next round because they can't really afford to drop for everybody. If they had 3 players, they could make that happen, but it's not the case. So, oh no, AZ's going to go down. It could get worse as well. Crim's got his eyes set on taking down Fox, and he might just call all of his teammates in to give him some help here in doing so. Can Fox stay alive? That's 1 kill. Here comes Olofmeister. Fox. Oh, Cole on the angle, legging Olofmeister and getting taken down by the M4. So losing both weapons puts FaZe in a truly desperate state as Fnatic are now in 14 rounds. 2 rounds more and they'll win this and send FaZe packing.
I think Fifth Lawrence said they would get no more than 6
5 or
rounds.
6, yeah.
Yeah,
something
so
like that, yeah.
Not far off, and it doesn't look likely that they'll get many more. So we have one of the, well, potentially one of the last buys here from FaZe. Double FAMAS, double Mag 7, single CZ, some nades. With those flashbangs, they may need to be aggressive, but where do they put their aggression? Olofmeister playing around the boulder. That boulder does work both ways when the CTs have an AWP as well, but on this occasion, they simply don't. Lots of nades coming in towards the drop, and that's going to, again, isolate the FaZe members. Makalele will perhaps try to strafe with the Mag 7. Oh, he's going to get it first. JW, of course. He will have a lot more experience with those kind of shenanigans. Jacob trying to play an off angle. Could get a straight headshot there if somebody peeks him. But it seems JW is going to go towards Fox. Fox picking some good timing there. Flashbangs coming into the B bomb site. It seems Fnatic may have more damage to do in this direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty deep on that plateau. Is kind of scary for FaZe, as their positioning is not too fantastic, but you can see that Fnatic are going to retract themselves and start to reposition a little bit. Now get somebody onto the drop and go for a real push. Back onto the plateau with 3 members. AZ lurking below, and then AZ starting to really run out here for FaZe, but will it matter? Olofmeister in with a frag onto AZ as they start to claim positioning onto the bomb site. Flasher with a double. In comes Rain for the trade, but he is all that's left, and that is that for FaZe. 15-5 now, Fnatic on match point.
Olofmeister went to the crack in the wall, just bounced the flashbang off the floor, jumped into the site, shot the guy in the boost position, and then away he went. Very nice play. 10-round lead for Fnatic, and FaZe are down to, well, triple Mag 7 by now. How many rounds do you see 3 Mag 7s being brought down? Not very many.
Yeah, it's very, very, very seldom does this happen. Triple Mag. And on a map like this as well, you know, you can get into those open spaces if Fnatic get onto the B site or A site, that is pretty much over. Playing those long ranges all of a sudden, and here we go. Got Olofmeister all the way out on plateau, trying to get to the furthest points, and JW battling away with that sawn off.
What a duel!
The duel of the shotguns.
It's a manly duel, Dan. Put hairs on your chest.
And here we go, 3 versus 4 now in favor of FaZe. So maybe they can get something done here. Oh, Crims pre-fire through the smoke just as he turns the angle. Picks off Rain. That's 3-on-3 now. Things getting worse here for FaZe. Rotating though. Then it's on the angle on double doors. Really sick angle there, but he doesn't get the kill. Fortunately for Fnatic.
So Crims is starting to move away from the A shenanigans, and Dennis is slowly backing off while AZ upgrades the Mag 7 for an AWP. But now Crims is coming back. Seems they don't want them to have that little toy. Still a minute on the clock for Fnatic to do some more damage here. So the situation is not great for the Swedes right now, but they will have better money, much better money than the CTs. So even if they lose this round, the damage is going to be quite considerable. 35 seconds left on the clock here for them to do some damage. Fox has picked up an M4. Both these CTs have armor, obviously, since they're force buying every round in this situation.
I mean, that was a crazy play from Makalele, just basically going for a really dangerous route, even though he didn't know what the opponents were, running. And donating himself, but at least AZ's on point. He's going to be able to pick off the frag onto Dennis. And it's just Crims 1 versus 2, trying to tap away the AWP. 13 seconds left. The pressure really up on the Crims here now due to the time. And AZ's playing this really well, allowing Fox to come in, give him a hand, and take down Crims. But still, they're up against it right now because it's a long, long road to bring this to overtime.
And they're still going to have a crap bite. So the question is, can they use the tools they have afforded to them to get an early pick, to get some aggression in? We saw Fnatic didn't have a care in the world. They'd be running onto T main and just jumping in there with AWPs, causing all kinds of shenanigans. Are FaZe going to do the same? Are they going to go for a boost, for example? They could look, again, towards the boulder with Fox from mid, but Fox is heading over towards A long, which is a position Flipside used to do with Simple, which always was a bit of a war of attrition. That said, we've only got Olofmeister holding an angle towards lower mid, and he's going to quickly move away. So the AWP may be wasted there. That said, FaZe have 3 people over towards the B bomb site, and they get the first pick. So far, so good.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, no refrag there. Rain's going to be able to take down Crims. So Fnatic getting blown up here. JW is there with the Sawn off, trying to get himself into drop, but he's already on half HP as he goes for the battle. He does take down Michael again, though, but Michael only had a shotgun, so JW is not going to be too useful here, only on the close ranges. Olaf there, oh, he's going to find one frag from the side, looking to pick off AZ, and he will. And the third frag comes in from Flusher, and all of a sudden, 3 versus 1 now for Fnatic. It's all on Fox with the AWP to save the day, as the bomb now is planted and is ticking away. Not sure if JW heard him there, I think he did. And, oh, Fox misses the key shot, and Olaf Mice is going to do it, eliminating FaZe. Fnatic, once again, setting themselves up for the playoffs, but it is a tough side of the bracket that they're about to enter.
So, FaZe went for the gamble there in terms of maps. Gamble didn't pay off, and Fnatic do what Fnatic do. They will move swiftly into the next stage of the tournament, and FaZe will be phased out of this Major Dan